I'm impressed that you can speak broken English and still get so much support here. So I was thinking, if I don't sing very well, I might actually get a standing ovation.
Bright shineth the sun in his splendor by day, and bright the moon's radiance by night.
My music career actually started in Seck Kia Eenh, and in the Seck Kia Eenh there is one very old piano that nobody plays. The strings are all rusted, and some of the strings have burst. And if you play on the ivory keys, some of the ivory, the plastic covering has already gone off. So if you play on the keys, some of the keys will get stuck, the hammers will get stuck on the strings. But that was the only piano that was available to me, so I started learning the piano.
It was a beautiful piano, with carvings actually, donated by somebody. And the flood came. You see, the fact that Brother Victor Wee had to play piano in the temple means we don't have pianos at home. So even an old piano, you get very excited. Those days, we get very excited over little things. Unlike now, people are not satisfied, keep on changing their handphone, keep on changing this and that. Those days, an old piano can make you stay in the temple the whole day. And he learned it himself,
When I was like Form 1, I borrowed a book from a friend about reading notes and about playing the piano. So I used the temple piano to learn how to play piano. And at that time, Ananda Mangala was there. He was actually sitting in his monk's quarters listening to me playing on the piano. So he wanted to encourage me because I was the only one that plays the piano. So it actually started from Seck Kia Eenh.
Wayfarers has a different history. Let's be fair to Seck Kia Eenh. I think Seck Kia Eenh is a place where Buddhist music has always been encouraged. Long even before I joined them, they have been singing some hymns. And I think Ananda Mangala and the rest, they have popularized some of the hymns even before my time. When I went into Seck Kia Eenh, we have the old hymns, which I think Seck Kia Eenh still sing today, Ho On Ko and all those hymns, But that was very long, old Buddhist songs borrowed from council of Buddhist churches in America. So they brought in those to introduce to our.
Wayfarers took Buddhist songs, Buddhist hymns, into a greater audience. Prior to that, it was just sung in temples, in small settings.
The early days of Wayfarers started with somebody singer come together. At that time, it wasn't called Wayfarers yet. There's already remnants of Buddhist groups singing very informally. And I think Brother Victor at the time was already composing song and hymns. And that was how later he formalized Wayfarers and popularized it. I think Wayfarers, I still remember the first time I saw Wayfarers up on stage was in one of the Buddhist event. I think one of the Vesak, we invited Wayfarers to come and give a performance. And I think that session blew the mind because everybody was so impressed that the Wayfarers are so good.
How high is the mountain? How deep is the sea? How long will man learn to live? How blue is the ocean? How green is the leaf? How long will man learn to be free? For you shall not go round and round.
We even have one person who can use the bird sound of the bird, Brother Ananda. Yeah, Brother Ananda, he's the one who created the sound of the bird. Later, I met Brother Ananda in NUS Buddhist Society, and he's also back in Malaysia today. And wayfarers are very impressive. And after that, I think music and Buddhism was never the same anymore. It brings to a very high level, and actually youth enjoy singing. And that explains why today in Singapore, a few temples have decided to invest heavily on Buddhist hymns and encouraging Buddhist hymns to be created and made into a practice with more rigor and more investment as well.
I think the Wayfarers was actually a starting point of all the singing groups that starts to be formed after that. And then you get groups like MODs, you get groups like Bodhi, and of course many other societies then started their own singing groups within their own community.
Many of us actually went out to be what I call it Buddhist musicians of the year, of the decade. Dato' Victor Wee, we have Wat Chai. Then
of course, yourself, Sadik Tan.
Yeah, we have, like myself, we have a group called MOD. We perform quite regularly in Kuala Lumpur and visited many states to promote Buddhist songs. So we thought that, okay, most of us are in Kuala Lumpur, we got nothing much to do, we got this each wanting to do something. So we said, okay, let's group together and let's do something. So we first formed a group called Expounder. Actually came from the word exponder, pond, ex-pond, yeah? So we reminisce the day that we sit around the pond, talk everything under the moon, sort of thing. But yeah, we had no more opportunity to do that. So then, so we call ourselves Exponder, but Dato' Victor Wee says, no, it doesn't sound right. So we became Expounder. So we had that group, but it only lasted for slightly over a year. After we released our album, we left, and then we thought that we still can do something more positive. So the ones that left, we decided to group together, and we formed this group called MOD, or Messengers of Dharma. So yes, so we had our roots here, and we are very proud of it.
I think Seck Kia Eenh has been a powerhouse of Buddhist music. Seck Kia Eenh has made Buddhist composers like Dato' Sri Victor Wee to be where it is today. Seck Kia Eenh has also influenced people like me to write songs for the Buddhist community. But whether Seck Kia Eenh has direct impact on Wayfarers, I think Wayfarers came about more of Bricksfield Temple than Seck Kia Eenh. But the roots came back to Seck Kia Eenh long before Bricksfield. So people like Dato' Sri, when he went over for studies in UM and he joined some Buddhist activity in Kuala Lumpur, Bricksfield is a place.
So being so closely associated to the Buddhism, when I went over to the university, I started actually writing. I started writing when I was sixth form, writing Buddhist hymns, and it continued when I was in the university and after the university.
So the one that actually encouraged more hymn singing is actually the late chief, K. Sri Dhammananda. So I think he was a catalyst in the formation of Buddhist song group, eventually leading to Wayfarers.
So we can say that Wayfarers actually is the pioneer of Buddhist hymns on records or on media, so that people can actually have access. Otherwise, we will just refer to a hymns book, and then we sing along from someone who knows how to sing. Whereas now you actually got a proper cassette or proper CD, and from there you can actually pick up the tunes and the lyrics, and then you sing along.
And then we also told Kemarama that our Sunday service always have 3 to 5 hymns, Buddhist hymns. And then it's very interesting because that time Brother O Kim Ling, Jimmy Wong, And brother Murphy and Ronnie, they started to learn, and Cedric, they all learned how to play the guitar. And every Sunday after the service, after all the chanting, we will have 3 to 5 hymns. And that hymn was very good because for a moment you can see that everybody enjoyed the hymn a lot. So that's the other part about Seck Kia Eenh. The hymn movement probably started in Malacca early on because of wayfarers. And I think that hymn continued to be part and parcel of our life actually. Everywhere we go, after every service, we must sing 2 or 3 hymns together.
We could also have tables and chairs as a musical instrument.
Bottles.
You remember bottles,
even
pots and all
scrubbing.
That's during the holiday work camp,
Pot.
right? we actually allow them to explore creativity. You know, so how does music? That's one part which I felt very closely. Talent is something unique about SKE. You look at which so-called religious organization which allows the youth to be, at those days, very active, where even the monk himself, right, encouraged talents like singing, dancing, music, you know. So I think, and if you look at it carefully, this is also part of the Buddhist practice in your skill to show your devotion, you know, through music. And you see now there's so many renowned Buddhist groups, you know, they actually propagate Buddhism through music.
So a lot of societies started their activities with hymn singing first, because that was actually a very good way to start the whole activity. And these organizations then begin to start to then say, okay, since we are following wayfarers, why not we also start some new hymns? So they then start to compose, they then start to create groups to sing them, and that's how the hymns flourished in the community. Did you sing? Oh yes, I was a good singer, but of course at that time not good enough to join the wayfarers. But since you can't help them in one way, you help them in another way.
But the songs are all over the place. First, there were some old traditional songs that was introduced by Venerable Sumangalo. But I find that those songs, after singing for a while, you start running out of repertoire. So I decided to actually write music for many beautiful poems there are. So that hymn book is actually a collection of poems that I managed to get everything together. Actually, it was done entirely by me. I put together all the poems I could get hold of, classified them into different sections, you know. And for some of the poems, I actually wrote music for them. So that was how the Buddhist hymns came about. And later on, because the hymn book was there, Brother Hua Chai, who is also from the same temple, and he's my junior, he also picked up some of those beautiful poems and started writing music to those poems.
I was in the initial wayfarers. So today we are all considered old farers.